Yeah. Ha What's up, family? Thank y'all for tuning in to another edition, another episode of the Guillotine News Network, where we are all about chopping the head of lies, falsehood, and deception. Thank you once again, family. This is going to be a good show because we're going to do some chopping today. The brothers, the men been hitting me up. They've been like, man, you've been doing a lot of these shows about females. We need something for the men. We need something for the men. So today, this is actually a show for everyone. This show's for everyone. Women, white, black, Asian, Hispanic, young, old, in between, everybody. We gonna get into some chopping. Because there's a huge misconception when it comes to how black men have been portrayed. This particular title, shout out to the hustlers. Shout out to the brothers getting that paper. Shout out to the entrepreneurs. Shout out to the brothers that ain't giving up, they're still grinding. I know sometimes it's hard, but you ain't giving up. We gonna make it very, very clear today about the absolute hate and vilification of how the black man has been portrayed in America as being lazy, as being no good, as being dumb-witted. We're going to break all that up today. All that's being chopped. Because deep down at a psychological level, we know, and this ain't for all Caucasians, but this is for some of the Caucasian white males who have a complex when it comes to the success of black men. See, you don't have a problem. You don't have a problem when it comes to us being able to outjump you, outrun you, outdance you, and things of that nature. But you have a problem when it comes to the intellect and the entrepreneurship of the black man. Why is that? Because we know, or at least my listeners should know, that there's something called economic warfare. And if you can hold a people, a country, a nation under your thumb economically, then you can deem yourself to be overall superior. But we're going to break all that up. I'm going to do some exposing today. Black ladies, because there's a segment of black women that have actually bought into this BS too. You know, the black men are just lazy. The black men, they don't really want nothing. That's why I don't really deal with black men, because they lazy. And they don't really want to do nothing with their life. Shut it up. Shut it up. You don't understand the tricks. You don't understand how you've been deceived. Let me get into some chopping. All right, family. So, real quick, we all probably have heard of that movie called Rosewood. Rosewood was a city in Florida, a real town in Florida, where the black people, shortly after slavery, I should say chattel slavery, because for all intents and purposes, we weren't even considered to be human beings. But that's another discussion, another topic. But they labeled us as 3/5 of human beings. They ain't even see us as people. But these human beings who you didn't see as human beings had their own city and town called Rosewood. Rosewood was such a successful city town. Listen to this. that it actually began to rival and pass up the cities and surrounding towns that were headed up by your Caucasian white man. Oh yes, you do the research yourself. This particular Rosewood was economically beginning to become the superior city, town in Florida, even rivaling its surrounding white cities and towns. So the lazy, no good black man actually was heading up a city that was flourishing and prospering. Let's go to Atlanta. Atlanta, around the early 1900s, was also being heavily, the population at that time was primarily black. People were heavily coming to Atlanta in great droves. Atlanta's economy was beginning to be 100% black based. We can see the remnants of that even to this very day. A lot of people migrate to Atlanta that are black. A lot of black people live in Atlanta, but we're going to deal with the early 1900s. The early 1900s, blacks were also beginning to build up this city called Atlanta. Once again, the lazy, no good, non-entrepreneur black man had another city, another town that was beginning to become economically prosperous. This city, Atlanta, primarily black at that time, was rivaling the surrounding cities and towns of the white man. The black man, the lazy black man, had another city that was beginning to prosper and surpass the white man's cities. This is nothing against white people at all, but I just have to destroy this fallacy, this lie, this portrayal of how black men have been viewed. I'm destroying that today. So we're going to deal with history because history best rewards one's research. Now, also in 1919, there was a city in Nashville. I think it was in Tennessee. Same situation, beginning to a segment of Nashville, right outside the surrounding city of Nashville, blacks had their own little small town, also flourishing and prospering, beginning to become economically superior. And of course, we probably have all heard of the phenomenal achievements in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Black Wall Street, aka Black Wall Street. Once again, this particular city, this particular town was dominating. I'm talking about obliterating the white man's cities and towns that surrounded Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street. So what happened with all of these monumentous achievements that were being headed up by the black man? Because for all intents and purposes, he was the head of his household at that time. Of course, the black woman gets just as much credit because she was right there by his side in support. But let us look at what the white man did, what the Caucasian did. And this is no knock against Caucasians nowadays, or those who would be absolutely appalled by what was done. But let's get into first Atlanta. This city, Atlanta, that was primarily black and was flourishing and prospering and was surpassing economically the white man's cities. The white people, they got very jealous of the black man's success as he was heading up his household and was able to produce a city that was beginning to surpass his white city. So what did they do being jealous and envious? They began and write in their little newspaper about how these black men were molesting and raping white women. They began to put this out in their newspapers. And you guessed it, the white men being so outraged, then they put together a mob of 10,000 white men, and the 10,000 angry white men came and destroyed Atlanta's city. They destroyed all of the black businesses, burnt them all to the ground, murdered hundreds and thousands of black men and women, destroyed this prosperous city held up by the lazy, no good black man. So what did you do in Rosewood? Same thing. It happened to be another white woman at the center of this particular destruction. Once again, they said that a white woman was raped. The white man from those surrounding cities who were getting very jealous at all of the success and enormous prosperity of the black man heading up his household, leading the charge of this economic growth, they then mob this particular city in Rosewood and burn all of the businesses, all of the houses to the ground, killing many men, women, and children. How about the phenomenal Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma? Oh yes, you guessed it. The Caucasian once again couldn't stand to see this black city town flourishing and prospering. And you guessed it, they burnt Tulsa, Oklahoma to the ground. Time after time, the history is replete with either outright destruction or they actually gave the black man offers he couldn't refuse. In other words, sell us your business, or this will be the last day that you inhale the oxygen on God's green earth. So I want us to pay attention, to study, to research, because the black man, you brothers were handling your business. The black man was getting it in. The black man was a hustler and is a hustler to his very core. You know that, white men. You know the history. But you've been somewhat successful in keeping that from the masses of the people. Black man, it's time to rise up. It's time to stand back up. You can become and create whatever you want. Let them try to destroy it now. It's a different day, family. That's the history. The black man is an economic god, and you must remember that is in your DNA. That's in your DNA. You are the economic god of the earth. Please believe it. Family, once again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to another edition, another episode of the Guillotine News Network. It's always been a pleasure. It's always good. It's always fun. Thank you, family. Peace. Holla.